en cuanto a información, no nos dicen nada. El caso está bajo secreto de sumario. ¿Por qué? Pues porque seguro que hay algo, que tendrán algo que no nos pueden contar.
Welcome back to another episode of the Weeknight Mysteries. I'm joined by my co-host, Rain. How are you doing today?
Hi everybody, and hi Iris. I'm doing very well today. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to talk about a case. This week we're going to be talking about a Spanish disappearance case. This case has been suggested to one of our listeners, and they actually contacted us on our Facebook page and left a comment, so we're happy to talk about this case. Also, another thing, moving forward with the podcast, I feel like doing case suggestions makes a lot more sense, don't you think? Because I think some people generally like to hear our take on like different disappearance cases. And I think we had a very good time researching the Natalia Hernández case from this week.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting case though. Not much information about it, no?
Not much information. Another factor that kind of limited us this week was the fact that this case is a Spanish case. And, you know, a lot of these information sources were actually Spanish articles.
Yeah.
You had to use Google Translate. And I mean, you have some understanding of Spanish, like bare minimum, right? Like a word or two, right?
The barest minimum, I guess.
Okay, well, I mean, we put together some research and we want to talk about it. So I want to quickly read an introduction. So every year, thousands of disappearances are reported in Spain. Most of them are voluntary disappearances, where the missing person decided to disappear on their own accord. 90% of such cases are resolved in rather short time, but there are many active cases that are being investigated by authorities as we speak as well. One such case is the disappearance of Natalia Hernández. She went missing on October 24th of last year, 2022, which has left her family and friends devastated and concerned for her safety. Despite extensive searches and investigations, her whereabouts remain unknown after she was last seen at La Palma airport. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance only add to the mystery. La Palma is a beautiful island that is part of the Spain's Canary Island chain. It may be small, but it's densely populated. It has a population of over 85,000 people. It's hard to imagine that Natalia could simply vanish without a trace. Yet that is precisely what has happened. Natalia reportedly was going to start working in a hotel in a town in La Palma called Fuencaliente in the southern part of the island, but she never showed up or even showed up to collect her luggage at the airport after landing. That was very bizarre. Now, according to Anna, who is a friend of Natalia's, this behavior was entirely out of character for her. Anna believes that Natalia may have been abducted and that her last-minute decision to visit La Palma could be the reason behind her mysterious disappearance. The fact that Natalia does not have a phone only adds to the complexity of trying to locate her. The possibility that Natalia may have met someone on the plane to La Palma who convinced her to go with them is a theory that Natalia's family and friends are actually considering. The disappearance of Natalia raises many unanswered questions, leaving her family and friends wondering about her fate. As we hope for a positive outcome in this case, we are left to wonder, where is Natalia and if she is even alive at this point?
Do you think she's alive at this point?
I don't think she's alive at this point, because it's been a while. This disappearance happened in October 24th, so it's getting close to a half a year mark at this point. And when people go missing for this period of time, you usually don't assume that they're still alive, unfortunately, right?
Yeah, but thinking about it, she also lives a nomadic lifestyle, right?
Exactly. So basically, we have some, additional kind of notes and findings on Natalia. I think it's a good time for us to kind of go over them, right? So one thing that I kind of want to mention is that Natalia Hernandez, well, she's better known as Natty. That's how, her close ones call her. She was last seen at La Palma Airport on October 24th, 2022. Now, she is a 30-year-old, and she actually traveled from Tenerife to La Palma. Tenerife is basically another island in the Canary Island chain. And she traveled from Tenerife to La Palma.
Wait, is it Tenerife or Tenerife?
I'm not really sure, but does it really concern any of us, right? But at the same time, I think it's important to talk about the reason why she was traveling. So apparently she was traveling to start a new job in a hotel located in Fuencaliente, which is a municipality in the southern part of the island, La Palma. Surveillance cameras determined that she actually landed in La Palma airport, but she did not pick up her luggage, which is, to me, the biggest red flag ever.
Yeah.
So basically essentially, I don't think we have any information what she was actually doing in Tenerife. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't ran into any of this, right?
Nothing.
And that's pretty bizarre, in my opinion, because I think she was originally from Madrid, the capital, or at least she was last staying in Madrid, the capital of Spain, but she flown to La Palma from Tenerife and actually looked at flights, and there are actually available flights straight from Madrid to La Palma. So for some reason, one reason or another, she was in Tenerife recently. I guess this is just a piece of her backstory that
maybe she's traveling from one place to another?
Yeah, I think so. And also I've read a little bit about the La Palma airport itself. Apparently there are only two, let's say, airlines that are actually present in La Palma airport. And I think...
Local airlines?
Yeah, they're local airlines, and they're mostly, I guess, what their business is mostly island hopping within the Canary Islands. So it kind of makes sense, right? If
so they're smaller planes then?
Yeah, they're smaller planes. Apparently, there's only two airlines that have a regular presence there, and there's some private charter planes that are happening from other European countries. But that's pretty much it. So I mean, maybe there was actually a scarcity of flights going straight from Madrid, so maybe she had to go to Tenerife and then jump to La Palma.
Yeah, that could be the case, because I was expecting few commercial flights going in and out of that small airport.
Exactly. According to most sources, Natalia was reported missing 17 days after she was last accounted for. So she went missing on October 24th, but only in mid-November was she actually reported missing.
That's a lot of time.
A lot of time, right? Her family did not report her disappearance beforehand due to the fact that Natalia is a person with a nomadic lifestyle, and she tends to move frequently because she works seasonally. So her family were not surprised when she didn't make any contact with them for a few days. Some sources claim that she did not tell them that she was going to the Canary Islands to begin with. And I want to kind of bring it back a little bit to the whole her being a seasonal worker. It kind of makes sense, right? Because when you think about it, the Canary Islands are actually getting the most amount of business during this time of year. They're basically getting the most amount of tourists.
Yeah.
Because think about it, people from colder countries in Europe, they only go to the to countries like Spain or the Canary Islands when it's getting colder in their countries. So October is probably one of the when the busy season begins. So it kind of makes sense for her to go and start this gig, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The Canarian authorities believe that a voluntary disappearance is the most likely hypothesis, but the family completely rules this one out. They assure that despite the fact that she had recently overcame a sentimental breakup with somebody, we don't have this information, She was motivated by the job opportunity that had been presented to her in a hotel in Fuencaliente. There she was guaranteed accommodation as well as a salary. On top of that, the family also claims that if it had been a voluntary disappearance, the young woman would have shown signs of life. In addition, they state that no bank transactions have been recorded with her card since then. So,
oh, that's a massive red flag right there.
yeah, that's a massive red flag, because if she, wanted to start a new life or something like that, you would think she would try to cash out some money.
Or would have taken her bags in the first place.
Yeah, just so far as we're reading through this, these notes, it's not looking good, in my opinion. Other possibilities, such as her leaving the island on a boat or another flight, has been considered by law enforcement, but they are determined to be unlikely outcomes because some kind of records would show that she actually left the island via the boat or another plane. The case is under secrecy, according to local sources, so a lot of the information, I guess, is unavailable to the public, to put it lightly.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
That it's under secrecy, right?
Because as I was reading through it, it's like the information that I was reading is very limited. I wanted to know more about her. There aren't any information much about her family, the ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Seems like we are actually missing some key details in this case. La Palma is the most northwestern island of the Canary Islands that belongs to Spain. It is the 5th largest of the 8 main Canary Islands. The total population at the end of 2020 was 85,840. Now, Fuencaliente, the municipality within the southern part of La Palma, where Natalia was allegedly going to work, has a smaller population of only 1,798 people. That's according to the 2013 census. A fairly small place, right? Let's talk about that friend, Anna. I think she worked for a media company within Spain, and she told some other media sources that this was not a typical behavior for Natalia Hernández. This friend Anna suspects that Natalia was potentially abducted. She also confirmed that this trip to La Palma was a last-minute decision. Natalia's family and friends think that she may have met someone on the plane to La Palma and was persuaded to go with that person or persons. On top of that, Natalia does not have a phone, which makes finding her even more complicated at this point. Some sources suggest that Natalia left her mobile phone in Tenerife with the intention of buying another upon her arrival to La Palma, while other sources indicate that her mobile device was actually blocked before taking off. As you do when you board the plane, you kind of have to turn off your mobile device, right? And she never actually restarted it after landing in La Palma. But one way or another, I guess there is no way we can, anyone can give her a call at this point, right? What do you think about this potential hypothesis that she may have met someone on a plane from Tenerife to La Palma?
Who pursued her or threatened her? Because this is a great possibility.
I mean, is it though? Because think about it, it's not like a plane from, let's say, America to China or something like that. This is from Tenerife to La Palma. I mean, they're so close. I couldn't imagine this flight being longer than like half an hour. I mean, it's maybe longer than that, but like it's so close. It's a very short flight. It's basically island hopping flight. So I think there's not a lot of time here for someone to actually convince. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like you have to have some time.
Yeah, but at the same time, Natty seems to have a nomadic lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And in my experience, those people who are living those kinds of lifestyle are usually very friendly. So even if that was a short period of time, I think she would have made friends instantaneously.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of see the point here. Maybe she met instantaneously. I still go back to that whole situation how she did not even go and collect her luggage.
And wait, think of it from this perspective.
Yeah.
She was also heartbroken.
She was. That's true. That's
so maybe
true.
she was looking for someone to talk to on the plane. She met someone.
I think you might be onto something here. This is an interesting kind of line of thinking here. Yeah. I mean, but also I think just the likelihood and the chances of meeting a predator on a plane in a place like La Palma, I mean, we'll jump into some other information about La Palma itself that I've looked into soon, but I mean, anything's possible at this point. Let's keep going. I want to quickly read a little bit about Natalia's description. So she was described as being 1 meter and 68 centimeters tall, which is 5'6". She had a long blonde hair, blue eyes, a piercing on the right side of her nose, and a tattoo on her right shoulder towards her back. She was wearing dark pants, a dark coat, and pink sneakers when she went missing. What do you think about her when you looked at her pictures?
She looks like she does yoga.
Yeah?
Right.
No, yeah. She does look like she's a very like kind of a
Zen person.
Zen person, yeah, I kind of know what you're... But she's also attractive as a woman. You can't see that she's not attractive.
Yeah, she is attractive.
She's an attractive woman who is... We're talking about a woman who probably could attract male attention, right? Especially
in a good way and in a bad way.
Yeah, that's right. Now, let's talk a little bit about that Natalia had gone through a sentimental breakup. And according to her friends, she was lost.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Because the fact that she went through a breakup makes it her more vulnerable emotionally. She might not be as stable as we thought when she landed that plane.
Yeah, that's true, right?
I mean, I'm not saying anything about people who went through a breakup, but I'm just saying maybe, I don't know, she was having a hard time by then.
Yeah, but what does it mean, a sentimental breakup? Because why we're describing this, we're literally just describing what is written in like a handful of articles. And
translated articles.
Translated articles. It's basically translated into a sentimental breakup and that her friends think she was lost. So I'm gathering that this was a pretty severe thing.
Yeah, it's either a really hard breakup or the relationship lasted for years and then they had a breakup.
Yeah,
no?
Exactly. Yeah, I think it could be like a long-term thing that just ended for her, right? But we don't know. We are just guessing at this point. Friends also state that she frequently changed her place of residence and that she worked seasonally. The last place she had lived before heading to the Canary Islands was a campsite in Madrid. So she was living in a campsite in Madrid.
Interesting.
Doesn't seem like kind of a very stable residence.
Yeah, I was expecting one place, one apartment to another house, probably another apartment. I wasn't expecting a campsite.
Yeah, campsite in Madrid almost kind of indicates to me like this kind of...
A tent?
A hippie kind of lifestyle, potential drug use.
Ooh.
I mean, once again, this is a massive speculation from my end because there's no reports of her using drugs, but I'm just kind of thinking about it. You know what I mean? Thinking out loud. Is there a possibility she was doing drugs, experimenting with drugs? I mean, people living in campsites...
There could be.
There could be, right?
Yeah.
I feel like these are the type of people...
And she's young.
She's young. You know what I mean? She's going through a breakup.
She's a nomad.
Yeah. According to a Spanish missing persons organization, something must have happened to Natalia and after she did not collect her luggage. And the fact that she did not collect her luggage is very significant. It is a sign that she was in a hurry for something. She may have had an appointment with someone or that someone was actually rushing her. There are low-quality images of what seems to be Natalia in the La Palma airport, but it's barely distinguishable if it's Natalia or not. And actually, Natalia's family, when they looked at the CCTV images of what police claims to be Natalia in La Palma airport, they actually are not certain. They have doubts that it's Natalia, but authorities maintain that it was actually Natalia. You know what I mean? Another fact to take into account is that the images were not recorded outside of the airport because the cameras were not working actually outside of the airport, just within the airport. So it can't be confirmed that Natalia ever came out of the La Palma airport to begin with. So it's interesting because we are basing the fact that she was seen in La Palma airport just because of some grainy CCTV image. I believe she was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I think it was
COVID era?
something like that. No, it's not COVID era because it's 2022 October, and Europe is pretty much done with that shit for a while, so we don't do it anymore. But I don't know why she was wearing a mask, honestly. Also, I want to say that however, it is known that she arrived there because the national police have verified that she passed the passenger control.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that is carried out at the airport. Why is that creepy?
That means she boarded the plane.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I think it's almost like a fact that she went from Tenerife to La Palma.
Because at first I was thinking maybe she also got lost in the Tenerife airport, but it seems like there's a clear, solid proof that she boarded the plane.
Yeah.
Just never exited the La Palma airport, right?
Never exited the La Palma. That's exactly what I'm thinking as well. And so she basically arrived to La Palma. We have a CCTV image of what seems to be her, but we obviously don't have the CCTV image because I think it's everything's like kind of
never been released
to the public. But she apparently did pass the checkup. When you land, I think you have to go through security one more time.
Yeah, they're just gonna check your passport for you guys, for EU citizens, the little ID card.
The little ID, yep. Well, she was a Spanish national person.
Oh yeah, just an ID card then.
ID card. So they registered that she did go through the clearance, but she never went to collect her luggage.
Because if you remember, when we were still traveling, we would board a plane, and on our destination, we would pass by that security check, passenger control check first, and then the luggage, and then after that luggage area, then you're free to go.
Yeah.
So that means in La Palma airport, did she pass the passenger control check?
I think so.
Yeah, but she just immediately breezed past the luggage area.
Yeah, well, I think
the carousel.
The carousel for the luggage. Well, she didn't collect the luggage, right?
And then she went straight out of the airport, probably.
Yeah, so if she did manage to leave the airport and actually tried to get to Juan Caliente without her bags...
That's pretty weird.
She would have taken either a taxi or a bus, most likely. Because there are actually no Ubers or Bolts or any kind of like app applications to kind of get you, from one place to another. You actually have to get the taxi. La Palma apparently does not have apps for that. When law enforcement checked her luggage, they only found clothing and nothing relevant to the case has been discovered. So it's not like she had drugs on her and was, it wasn't anything shady. At least we have no indication that it was anything shady.
Was it ever indicated if she was intoxicated or?
No, that's another question that I would like to have answered. What was she like? Because I'm thinking, is there a chance, there was a rough idea in my head, what if she took some crazy drugs in Tenerife, boarded the plane, and maybe the effects kind of were...
lasted until she got into La Palma.
Yeah, that's when things got really out of hand. What, that was something I was thinking about.
That's a really good point.
Well, that's
really good thought.
But that's pure speculation, you know. Okay, so at this point, I mean, I know we have some images to kind of react to, but basically everything's kind of the same. I would like to mention one thing before we kind of jump into theories and I guess really try to wrap this one up. Is the fact that if you look at the map, right?
Yeah.
And you could see that this is the La Palma airport.
It's right beside the ocean.
It's right beside the ocean. So basically, for people who are listening, La Palma airport is right beside the ocean. And then this image right here I took, this is basically the image when literally the first thing you see when you exit the La Palma airport. So
this is not the runway, right?
No, this is not the runway. This is when you exit the official... There's only like one way you could exit La Palma airport. And the first thing you see is ocean.
Oh.
These small little cliffs, a few wind mills, like these wind power generator thingies, right? And then...
Windmills, you're right.
Sorry about that. And then literally the ocean. So definitely something very important, in my opinion, like someone who, like Natalia, who does not pick up her luggage.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, the cameras outside of La Palma airport didn't work. I think they would have answered a lot of our questions if they did work.
It does make sense that they don't work because it's just such a small airport. I mean, you would want them to work, but no, it's a small airport.
I mean, I would probably say that they should work.
Yeah.
And you could say that it's literally right there. The ocean is right there.
Your face.
In your face. And obviously we could try to think about like, she went through a sentimental breakup. She was down. She didn't collect her luggage. And then the law enforcement is saying it's probably a voluntary disappearance.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, probably like suicide,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm thinking, I was actually looking at the area and I was just contemplating how would you commit suicide, because another thing,
jump off a cliff.
That's the thing, these cliffs are not, you're not gonna die, these are like very easy cliffs.
Jump off a cliff down to the ocean.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that these are not big cliffs. These are not big cliffs. This is something that if you would jump in, you would not die.
Yeah, but if you jump in there, would you head straight to the ocean or just I don't know, pile of rocks?
Ocean. There is no like kind of, there is, they look dangerous from the satellite image.
They do.
But when you look at the Google Street View, it's not that dangerous. I looked at it, like it's not what you think, because there are some some high cliffs where you jump off a cliff and then you will die, but this is nowhere near that. This is like jumping from a 2-story building, which you're not gonna die, especially you're jumping.
You're just gonna get bruised.
You're not even gonna get bruised because you're jumping into water, so you're not even gonna get any damage. So I was also thinking, how would she have died? And for me, it goes back to, I don't know, even potentially being like not in the right state of mind, being on drugs, and maybe she did meet someone on the plane. And they gave her some drugs, you know what I mean? Maybe they gave her some drugs and then she was going crazy. You remember Lars Smitank, that German guy who went to Bulgaria, and there's only CCTV footage of him running out of the airport.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's this case. I think we could definitely cover it later on. But it's kind of giving me Lars Smitank vibes, where Lars was, I think, also like on some kind of weird drugs and was not in his right mind. So I think this could be the same situation, potentially, where, I mean, she may have just ran out of the airport, did not collect her bags, and if she wasn't in her right mindset, I mean, she literally could have thought, oh, I'm just gonna go swim in the ocean and drowned. So I think that's a likely That's not necessarily super likely, but that's definitely a
Possibility.
A possibility I would consider in this case. Right.
Or do you think she jumped on her own accord and probably drowned?
Yeah, well, that's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, just a different state of mind. She's completely sober.
Yeah.
It was intentional.
Yeah, like I'm gonna jump in for a swim before I go collect my bags.
Not really. More like she's sad. She's heartbroken. She
wants to kill herself.
Yeah,
but
I was
that's
thinking along those lines.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but like I would expect a way bigger cliff if you're gonna commit suicide, because these cliffs are not that big. I'm telling you, I looked at Google Street View. It's not that big.
So
it's not. If you're a sober person, you would not think, "Oh, I'm gonna jump into this and I'm gonna die." You just think I'm gonna get wet and I'm gonna swim out. You know? Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So it's not that. So we have to kind of, also, I think, consider that fact, And I guess...
How about the possibility that she met someone and that certain person threatened her, took her somewhere, and she got abducted and was never been seen again?
Yeah, well, that's what the family believes.
Yeah.
And friends.
That could also be a possibility.
That could be a possibility, right? And I think some things that I still want to kind of bring up here will kind of lead into what you're talking about right now. So let's quickly go over the details, like the most important details that I kind of noted down.
Yeah.
To kind of have a picture of have the big picture of this case, and then let's kind of think about what may have happened here. So Natalia was someone who lived a nomadic lifestyle, and she lived in a campsite in Madrid previously. She had a sentimental breakup. According to her friends, she was lost, whatever that means. She apparently had a job contract signed to work for a hotel in Fuencaliente. She had flown from Tenerife. It was a last-minute decision. What was she doing in Tenerife, we don't know. But we know that this was a last-minute decision. So maybe she got this offer to work last minute.
Perhaps, yeah.
Could be something shady, right? Could be something shady. She had no phone, or it was blocked before the flight.
This is weird.
She did not tell her parents that she went to the Canary Islands to begin with, but apparently it's something that she would do because she lived the nomadic lifestyle. And she is assumed to have enough money to buy a new phone. So she wasn't broke, but I didn't get the indication that she was rich either. I think she was kind of just getting by, right?
Yeah.
She did not collect her luggage from the airport. The CCTV footage of her is questionable. We don't really know who that person is. No bank transactions have been recorded with her card after she went missing. Law enforcement considers that a voluntary disappearance is the most likely outcome, but family members and close friends strongly deny this. Airport is close to water, as we said, like very close to water, to the ocean. Now, I want to talk about that Santa Cruz de Tenerife. 2022, I read an article that there was an increase of crime by 27%. Crimes like rapes, sexual assaults, burglaries are on the rise. So this is pretty fascinating. And another pretty fascinating thing I found, another article, that La Palma was ranked as the third most dangerous city in Spain.
Oh crap.
Yeah, I think it's the number one was Barcelona, because it's a big city. And then the second one was Bilbao. And the third one was...
it a city? Is it a city? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Bilbao is also a city. And the third most dangerous city in Spain is Palma, La Palma. And then I kind of looked at, to give us some references, like I looked at some crime statistics. We're living in Lithuania, Vilnius, and I compared our crime statistics on this one website to the statistics in the Canary Islands.
Yeah.
And apparently the Canary Islands has way worse situation. Like, we're way safer here in Vilnius than people in the Canary Islands. But at the same time, we can't fully base our logic behind this because there's not a lot of contributors like reporting information in the Canary Islands. So I'm not sure how credible that is. But just the fact that the crime was on the rise in the Canary Islands, especially to the western ones.
No, the fact that it's the third most dangerous place in
Spain.
Yeah, because the first one is completely understandable.
Yeah.
It's a major city. Second one is also a city. But this is not.
It's not. That's true. That's not a major city. It's on an island.
Yeah, so...
And there's only 90,000 people there. So it's interesting. And yeah, all kinds of crimes like sexual assault, rape, things like that, abductions potentially, murders. There were, I think, an increase in murders also in 2022. So I think in general, I think this was an eye-opener for me a little bit.
Yeah.
Not necessarily an eye-opener, but I think I was initially definitely leaning towards the voluntary disappearance because I know the family says that, it's unlikely, but we as bystanders who can only go off of the information that we found online, it definitely looks to me like she was already everything was leading up to this. Sentimental breakup, nomadic lifestyle, last-minute decision to go to La Palma, lands in the airport, doesn't collect luggage. Seems to me like she's, like something happened, we can't explain it, but something happened and it was leading up. Like everything in her life was leading up to her disappearing. But then when I read about these articles about the crime rate in La Palma, then I kind of started questioning that belief, and now I would say I'm still leaning towards that. Everything looks to me like I'm not sure if it was voluntary. That's the thing. Like I think we're missing a lot of information. We're missing a lot. I would like to know more about that sentimental breakup. And how likely is that Natalia Hernández was actually suicidal on October 24th?
Exactly.
Was she suicidal? I mean, this was a last-minute decision, so maybe she didn't have like a strong mindset.
Was she intoxicated?
Yeah.
Or did she take any drugs?
Yeah, and I would like to say another thing, last thing, is that I think it's also important that this was a last-minute decision because she didn't have a strong mindset about being in La Palma to begin with. It was a last-minute decision. Maybe she started questioning why she's even there.
Well, maybe she wants to start a new life, start a new leaf.
Maybe, right? Well, at the same time, what do you think? What do you think is the most likely outcome here? Voluntary disappearance?
Yeah. In a way that it could be
a suicide,
taking her own life, or maybe she was intoxicated or drugged up.
Yeah, or on drugs and but I won't rule out that.
But there could be someone who abducted her.
Yeah, third party is also involved. I guess we can just speculate. So I'm not even gonna basically say anything here.
Yeah.
Because we don't know, right?
And there are a lot of missing information that could potentially help us think of other possibilities, right?
Yeah, you're right. And I think on this note, this was a good podcast. We took a week off. Last week, we wanted to kind of have a new setup. This was really fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I had a good time talking about this case. I think we're pretty much good. Let's wrap it up here. Guys, please leave your thoughts about Natalia's case. What do you think happened?
Yeah, please let us know if you have any other information, or maybe you speak better Spanish than us and understand the articles better.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have at least one Spanish listener.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or someone who speaks Spanish at least, right?
Yeah.
So thank you guys for listening, and we'll join you on the next.
And thank you for someone who suggested this case, right?
Yes, on Facebook.
Yeah, thank you so much, that person.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You can however way you want to contact us, please leave suggestions, because I think we're literally just gonna do that.
I love suggestions.
Yeah, let's just do comments or suggestions.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we'll join you on the next one, guys. We love you and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
We love you.